What is up guys, Callum here and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be discussing Doctor Who. We're going to be discussing Series 11 Episode 1, The Woman Who Fell to Earth. This is now like a week late. As I'm recording this right now, the next episode, Episode 2, The Ghost Monument, is 15 minutes away. So I'm cutting this a bit late, aren't I? So this is a bit late, isn't it? I wanted to do a review last week, but I'd never really found the time to be able to do it, so I'm going to do one now, a quick one, and then I might do I think this will be a separate video, and then probably after this there'll be a review for The Ghost Monument, and as of right now I don't know how that's going to be, but let's just talk about what I do know, and that is the first episode of Series 11. I really enjoyed it. Overall, right now, I really like it, and I think it's a really good opener for the series. I think the first time I've watched it 3 times since it's aired. I watched it as it aired, and my experience when watching it first when it aired, I did like it. I knew that I liked it, and I still do like it. I think when I first watched it, I felt something was off. I didn't quite know what it was. I think what it is, I think it was because it's so different. It is, like everybody has been saying, it is so different from all the other 10 series of New Who. It's so different. But I think that's a really good thing, because when I rewatched it, I enjoyed it a lot more. I felt more engaged with the story, with the characters, and I just felt it was just a better viewing. And I think this sort of style I'm really a fan of, and I'm really looking forward to how the rest of the series goes on. Overall, I think what my problems with the episode, I think that on 2 different occasions my immersion was broken. There was 2 lines from Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, talking about change, and while I think that is a good message, because I think the change with the Doctor being female, I think that is a really good thing. Ever since the announcement nearly 2 years ago, I've been a supporter of it, and I think it's a really good change. But when I'm watching the show, I don't want my immersion to be broken, and I felt on 2 different occasions it was. In the train scene, where Jodie's talking about change being scary and it's all new, I was just taken out of the moment because I felt it was too on the nose. And when she's on the crane talking about the biggest of change and how we can evolve and the show can still be like it was before, and while I like those kind of things, and I understand that, it did kind of break my immersion, but those are just small nitpick things. No one else has really mentioned them, so that's probably just something that I might have a problem with, and that's fine. Everyone is allowed their own opinion. But overall, in terms of the plot, I really did like the plot. I liked the beginning, the way it began and the way it ended. I liked the overall story. I felt it wasn't too outlandish. It wasn't over the top, I think, which is something I really liked. It was very simple, congested story. It was just a night in Sheffield, and I really did like the whole story of how it went, like how the structure of the story was. I think the villain, I don't think it's the best villain ever. I think it's a fine villain with one-dimensional motivations, but I think the design was pretty cool. I think it's different. What it reminded me of, oddly enough, the way the makeup was like, it kind of reminded me of the cat people from series 2 and 3 from New York, and I don't know why. I don't know if anybody else felt that, but it reminded me of that for some reason. I think the monster was quite intimidating. I think probably more intimidating before he took his mask off. I think because when you first see him in the episode, it reminds me a bit of Terminator, the way he was sort of posed. And I think in the end of the episode, I still think it was quite a decent villain. I think it's a good opening villain. The characters themselves, I was quite impressed with people like, I was quite intrigued by people like Ryan and Graham, especially considering how they're not related, but they're not technically related, but they are. I think going forward in the future episodes, I think that's going to be a really interesting dynamic, because I think Ryan is a very interesting character. I think before the episode, I think he was probably the most interesting character out of the lot for me. And while I do think that the performance was good, did feel a bit flat at times, but that's just my opinion, I'm still very interested in all the characters. I think Bradley Walsh, I was extremely impressed with. I was very impressed by his performance, especially in the funeral scene, because it actually got me quite emotional. And it's weird because I've only spent an hour with the characters, who, with Grace, who, spoilers, does die near the end of the episode. But I think Bradley Walsh's performance was very, very good. The one character I hope does get more development is Yasmin, but I am confident that she'll get more development, because I feel like the way the build-up for the series has gone is that it's going to be more character arc than story arc, which I don't mind. It's something different, and I've wanted different from Doctor Who for a very long time. And I think, okay, lastly, I want to talk about is Jodie Whittaker's performance. I really enjoyed her performance. Every time she was on screen, I was engaged, and I was really enjoying the way she was handling the role. I really liked the scene where she's rebuilding the sonic screwdriver, the way she talks about regeneration, and I felt that made sense with the continuity of the New Who continuity, basically, that regeneration is a scary thing. And I think outside of Doctor Who, it is quite a scary thing, because every time there's been a new Doctor, there's been doubts. There was probably doubt. I can't remember if there was, but I'm sure there was doubts over David Tennant when he first came on. There was definitely doubt over Matt Smith when he took over the role, and I don't think as much with Capaldi, but I think for the casual fans it was. And then obviously with Jodie, it's a different gender. So obviously people are going to be supportive of it, but some people aren't going to be for different reasons. It's not all because they just don't want a female Doctor, because they don't think a female should be the Doctor, but it might be something that they feel like it's just a bit of too big of a change. But either way, I think that no matter what anybody thinks, I think she's nailed the role in the first episode. There's still way more for her to come forth with in future episodes and hopefully series, but overall for a first opening episode, she did a really, really good job, and I think that she's going to do really, really well. What else do I want to talk about the episode? I think the writing was really good. It did fall flat a few times, I think. Like I said, with the two lines that took me out of the immersion. I need to stop talking properly. But other than that, I really, really enjoyed this episode. If I was to give it a ranking, I would probably give it a 7.8 out of 10, because it's not the best episode ever made. Visually, it's the best episode of Doctor Who ever, I would have to say. I really enjoyed it visually. But in terms of plot, I don't think it was a massive plot. It was a quite contained, simple plot, and I did like that. But it's not going to be one of the best episodes of Doctor Who ever. But I think for an opening episode of a brand new series with a big change, I think it did its job. I mean, considering it got over 8 million viewing figures, I think that does say a lot. And I think the interest in people watching the episode is still going to be there for the next episode, which is tonight for me and everybody else. But it probably has already happened by the time this goes up, and hopefully it was a good episode. You'll probably know my reaction to it very soon. So yet again, I would give The Woman Who Fell to Earth a 7.8 out of 10. I think it was just a really decent episode of Doctor Who with some good qualities, just probably lacking in terms of the plot probably. While I did like it, was a very simple plot. But I think for an opening episode, it's very, very good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Doctor Who Series 1, Episode 1. Please join me soon for Episode 2, The Ghost Monument, which I'm actually really looking forward to. For me, it's about 5 minutes away, so I'm actually going to turn this off now and go and watch the episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode, if you liked it and what you did like about it. If you didn't like it, what didn't you like about it? I want to hear all opinions because I'm really interested. I've seen both sides of the argument for this episode, whether they think it wasn't that good or it was really good. I am interested to see what people think. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.